Frederick Peterson says, these press conferences are a joke. Why even bother if you're going to give 3-word nondescriptive crap? He's the worst at it I've seen. I asked him how Trey Lance's how he was in practice this week. He said he was good. And he just stopped. And I couldn't follow up because Zoom, they just cut you off. I was going to be like, okay, like, could you give me a specific? But he just said, good. Like, well, that doesn't sound good at all.
What a wonderful answer that is.
Jeez. All right. Is it just me or did HBO miss out big time not having the Niners on Hard Knocks? How do the Niners always get out? They've never been on Hard Knocks. They are the premium. I mean, we do Hard Knocks, basically.
Yes, we have to. We're left with no choice because HBO just won't give us what we want.
Why is Kyle Shanahan so reluctant to play Trey Lance? I mean, look, I think it's tied into clearly he doesn't think Lance is ready for this, right? Clearly, freaking clearly. And I think it's tied into what I kept saying the last 11 weeks. While Niner fans were grooving on winning, I was saying, well, okay, you blew out Jacksonville, Atlanta, the Rams. Couldn't you have let Trey Lance play in the fourth quarter? Aren't you worried that Jimmy could get hurt? Isn't Trey Lance the future of the franchise? Isn't it a possibility that he could have to play in serious games this year? And what Kyle did was he hoped for the best. I don't know. Jimmy's going to be fine. This is going to work. And you're supposed to hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. They didn't prepare for the worst. And I think we're going to see, most likely, is that Trey's going to look a lot like he looked in week 5. And all this stuff that they're saying that he's been better in practice, that's practice. And that's not a game. And it's going to be a little rough. And I think it's either that Trey's a bust, and I don't think he is, or it's that essentially the Niners put all their energy into Jimmy this year. And they made a conscious decision to do that. And that the kid is most likely unprepared for the moment, unfortunately. And I don't blame him for that. I blame Kyle.
Yeah, you can't blame him for that, right? It's not his fault that when he was put in, he was overused in the run game and therefore suffered the injury and then had to be taken out for some time, didn't get the practice reps, and hasn't gotten those snaps that I've wanted as well. That in many of those games, even if it wasn't in time where the game had slipped away and you work him in for a couple of snaps, just getting him in the game for this eventuality. Because at the beginning of the year, we were told this is exactly why Lance was brought in.
Thank you.
For a situation just like this. And here we are, but the 49ers have done a poor job of getting him ready for the moment. I would like to believe that it really is Kyle's gamesmanship in delaying this, that it's clear to everyone in the locker room that this is Trey's start this week and that he just feels it gives him some slight edge, even though the Texans have to know who is starting on Sunday at this point. I cannot imagine going the entire week without throwing the football and then Saturday testing it and being like, yeah, he's good to go.
I mean, look, they're hyping up the scout team as being this great forum to develop a quarterback. Give me a break. Baloney. What else are you supposed to say? The fact of the matter is you put him on ice for 11 weeks and you hope that Jimmy would make it through the season. He didn't. And now you're going to face the consequences of that decision. The consequences. Anyway, they're going to have to face the consequences. I can't do it. The consequences of that decision is tough. But seriously, that was their choice. Go all in with Jimmy this year and hope that he wouldn't get hurt for a second time this season. He did. And now what is Trey Lance really prepared for? What has running other teams' offenses with the backups and in practice, how much has that really helped his mastery of the 49ers offense? How much has he really improved his accuracy? We're going to freaking see. And really, it is mostly going to reflect on Kyle, which is why he looks like he has a stomach ache this week.
Yeah, when you hear Mike McDaniel talk about, well, when he runs the scout plays, it mirrors some of the things that we do, but the timing's a little different. The verbiage is a little bit different. So you mean it's different. Like it's not the same. You're not actually practicing what the 49ers do. I do think
better than nothing. It's better than nothing, essentially.
It is better than nothing. That's for sure. And I do agree with Steve Young that if you attack your preparation like you're going to play every week, you do get better. It's not going to compare to getting into games, getting real live action, but you certainly can improve. Yeah. Trey is a wildly talented individual with a lot of raw talent, so I'd like to see that come through on the field. But in fairness to Coach Shanahan, he really has been fairly transparent in pointing out that he thinks Jimmy gives the 49ers the best chance to win on a weekly basis. He's really not wavered from that. We have just wanted to believe differently. I have wanted to believe differently that we would eventually see the rookie in the way in which it was described in the preseason. We just haven't.
It just feels to me like Kyle has like his senior project. It's Trey Lance. And he's thinking, okay, I don't have to do that until the last week. I'll just put that off and I'll knock that out and I'll just do it in a week. And even though it's supposed to be all semester, and then halfway through the semester, the professor's like, okay, so how's that project going? And Kyle's like, good.
Fine.
Really? Great. And he's like, okay, so let me see what you got. Let's see. I want to see your thesis. I want to see your outline. I want to see your bibliography. And he's like, no, Jimmy's coming back. Don't worry. No, like not this. I just don't. I think he's not prepared for this moment. I think he felt like I can just put off Trey's next year. I will coach Trey next year. This year I'm coaching Jimmy, and that's my plan. And it's going to work out. It's a brilliant plan. And all of a sudden, like, can we see that project? Can we see that project right now? Actually, it needs to work right now. The playoffs are 2 weeks. I haven't done anything. This is really scary. I think that's a little bit. I know that look. I've seen that look on his face this week. That I didn't do my homework. Look, I know that look. I felt that. I've given that look.
I've given that look a lot.
Given that look. How was practice for Trey this week? Good. Oh, okay. All right. So not good. Not good, huh? Okay. All right. Well, maybe you should have given first team reps at other times before now. So, Brian, I hope we answered your question. Brian, triple question mark, said, why is Kyle so scared? Those are my theories, because he's probably thinking this is going to go bad and I'm going to get blamed. It's good. I mean, coaches are usually pessimistic heading into games anyway, but I think he's thinking, we're going to lose to Houston and it's going to it's going to be really bad.
And it will be. If that occurs, I mean, 49er faithful will really start to lose it. Like, it will be ugly.
The civil war of Niner fans, of Jimmy Garoppolo guys coming in and being like, told you
so.
In your face. What were you saying about Trey Lance having? Oh, what were you saying? Oh, yeah. And then Trey Lance people are just going to be so mad at Kyle. I already know. It's going to be, whew.